Okay, so let's get started. My name is Carly Fabricant. I'm the District Wellness Coordinator, and I have with me Charlotte English Wright. She is our Assistant Wellness Coordinator. And we are so happy to be here on the third week of Color Weeks. And of course, we're celebrating diversity and culture and foods from around the world this week. So hopefully you have enjoyed Color Weeks thus far and are excited to learn about a couple of new dishes tonight. Perhaps there's something that's familiar to you from your culture, or maybe you'll learn about something new to try out. Anything shared tonight will, of course, be in our cookbook that everyone who is participating in Color Weeks will get a copy of. It's going to be a virtual cookbook. Some of you have already submitted your recipes. Thank you for that. It is not too late to submit. We're just looking for items that are healthy and fruit or vegetable focused. And if it is something else that you want to share, then we can use it in other capacities. So we're definitely happy to have anything that you can bring to us to share. But for Color Weeks, we're going to be utilizing the recipes that are fruit and vegetable focused. And we are coming to you live from our kitchens today. Of course, I have my headphones on to block out family noise. But I am so happy to be here and share a recipe that I have. So I will get started. I am Jewish, and one item that is popular in Jewish tradition is chopped liver. So if you're Jewish, then go ahead and tap right in the chat box, that you're Jewish, that you know about what chopped liver is. Let's see how many people know what this is. Or if you are on your screen, you could just raise your hand.
Yeah, we have a few.
There are not a lot of healthy dishes. Oh, there's Diana. Fantastic. There are not a lot of healthy dishes. So when I was thinking about, okay, what could I share from the Jewish tradition that's, healthy? And there is not a lot. So I thought about chopped liver because it's not necessarily healthy, but the reason why I picked that dish is because that is the one thing I normally avoid when I'm going to a family, dinner or holiday with a buffet or whatever. I always avoid the chopped liver because I can't stand it. I think it's disgusting, but a lot of people like it. And so I thought, well, what can we do to make chopped liver, more appealing to me, but also a little bit healthier? Chopped liver is normally made with chicken liver, chicken fat, which wouldn't necessarily by itself taste bad, but something about the combination has just never really appealed to me. So I thought, what can we do with this? So I did find a recipe that made it vegan, which is so nice. And I'm going to show you what the ingredients are. And when I tried it, I thought this is not too bad, actually. So what the ingredients are, we have an onion. We utilize an onion. We utilize green beans. So I went ahead and chose organic canned green beans. You can definitely use fresh, and I actually probably should have used fresh for this one. I think it would taste a little bit better. I'm not a huge fan of canned green beans just because of the taste, but I think I would have liked fresh a little bit better. Walnuts, we'll chop them up. Egg and salt and pepper. Right, so that's all the ingredients, and a little bit of oil. So combining all these ingredients, of course, we have the onion, we have our white vegetable, we have the green and the green beans. So that makes it cover two families of the Color Weeks. The rainbow for us. So it's a very simple recipe. You're going to grind up your walnuts very fine in the food processor, or you can chop them by hand. You're going to caramelize the onion. So I did this on the stove with a little bit of olive oil, cook them for a long time so that they get brown and caramelized. And then you're going to add that to the food processor with the green beans and the salt and pepper. And that was it. So it really wasn't bad. I'm going to show you what this looks like. So it looks a lot like chopped liver. For those of you, I'll get a little bit closer. For those of you who like chopped liver and have had it before, it looks very similar. So, and it actually tasted pretty good. So again, I would probably have used fresh green bean next time and just cooked them, maybe steamed them. I think that would be a little bit better. and that's probably what I would recommend. But just for today, for the quickness of it, I used the canned, but it actually ended up being pretty good. So this is something I would consider maybe bringing to my next holiday dinner, and so that way I can actually, enjoy chopped liver along with everybody else. So that is what I wanted to bring to the table today. Any questions? I think there's been some comments coming in.
Yes, there's some comments coming in about liver and onions.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of people said they're not Jewish, however, they do enjoy the dish. And my mother as well. Yes, so we have just a few people agreeing with what you are talking about and have had it themselves too.
All right. So I know I'm an anomaly. I know most people do like chopped liver, but for those of you who don't, or if you've never had it before, this is a good dish. It's a side dish. It's not a main dish, but it's a good side dish to try and get these vegetables in our diets.
Yeah. My mom always ate liver. She always eats it. I'm not, yeah. I love it when when the smell of it, like when she's cooking it, because she fries it and then smothers it.
Okay.
It smells so good. And then by the time I taste it, I'm not there yet.
Right.
She loves it. Because I think she said it's good for iron, is it? Or?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, for the iron. So yes, she loves it.
Absolutely.
My son eats chocolate liver on. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds nice. So it's something we can bring to the table, and hopefully you'll try it one of these days. Okay, let's move on. I see that Diana Rios has joined us. If you can hear me, if you can, I don't know if you have a camera or not. Hopefully you do. Let's see if we can get Diana on here. While she's getting on, Diana is from, and hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right, is from Formosa Elementary. She's an ESOL teacher, and she is going to cook a Haitian dish for us, which is griot with black rice and vegetables. So let's see if we can get her on here.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, you're here. Yay.
I was trying to.
There you are.
I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We can hear you. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. All right, everybody, go ahead and pin Diana. It's Dayana. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, fantastic.
All
right.
Not everybody pronounce it right. They usually call me Dana.
Okay. Okay. So we're happy to have you with us. If you could just tell us what your dish is, why it's important to you, to your family, how to cook it, and then show us a picture of it.
Sure. I think I sent the picture by email. I did send it, but I have it here.
Okay.
This is the vegetable, but since it's it's vegan, so I do it without the meat.
All right. So why don't you start by telling us what it is and why it's important to you and your family?
It's important to the legume. It's like we call it legume in the Haitian Creole. We call it legume, but it calls I don't know, in English you say vegetable because it's combined with a lot of vegetable on it. But in our tradition, it's important to us, especially when let's say you anemic, and then they said it's really good for you for iron, so you're anemic, and that's the importance of legume for us in the Haitian community. It made with we add carrots, we add pepper, we cut the pepper, we add green pepper, we add red pepper, and we do add some garlic. We add cabbage. Some people use eggplant, but some people don't. And then we boil all of it together. after we done boil it, and then we smash it together. And then some people use olive oil, a little bit of olive oil, and then we add salt. So we have to make it, taste good. We do add some hot sauce if you want, but you don't have to. And then we add some spinach. We add, and then we, mix it all together after we done smash it, and then we mix everything together with the carrots, and then we smash everything. But since it's vegan, I didn't do it with with meat. But usually some people do it with meat, or you can do it without meat. And it tastes so good. After when you boil everything with a little bit of salt, then you can add, some people add some, season, so it can taste good. And then after that, when you're done with it, smash it and then fry everything together. And then after 15 minutes, everything ready. And then we usually eat it with black rice, or sometimes we do eat it with white rice. It's good with white rice a lot. It tastes so good with white rice. I'm gonna tell you, all my friends, my coworkers, they know about white rice with legume.
It's so good.
I made it earlier this morning. I bought some for some of it. I sent it that I'm like, oh, I'm making legume. They said, oh, bring everything. That's why I only have this left.
Nice.
Yes, and then we do the white rice. It's easy to make. That's the white rice. It's really easy to make. You just add you can use butter to be healthy. You just put a little bit of butter on in your pan, and then you can fry it with half of garlic if you want to. Some people use garlic, some people use at the green, some people use. But me personally, I use garlic because garlic is very healthy.
Yes.
I use a little bit garlic, and then with the butter, and then after that I add water. Add water and a little bit of salt, because I'm allergic with salt right now. It's not really healthy for me,
Right.
for high blood pressure. So I add a little bit of salt and then let it boil. And then you use the quantity of, it's depend of the quantity of the rice you're making. If you're making rice for 2-3 people, it's depend. You can measure it. And then after that, you let it boil. And then when it's done boiling, you cover it for 3 to 5 minutes. And then you put the room, the temperature, really let's say at 2, maybe at 2. And then after that, after 5 minutes, well done, ready to serve.
Excellent. That sounds really good.
It is, I'm telling you, I had a big bowl and this is what I have left. From my coworkers, that are not even Haitian, and they know how to pronounce it.
Absolutely.
But the griot, it's not vegan. That's why I'm not going to talk about the griot, because it's not, it's meat, it's pork, it's not vegan. So I'll let it. It's not part of the presentation.
Okay. Fantastic. Put in the chat box, anybody, if you've tried it before, or if you think that this might be a great dish for you to try.
Laura said, oh, yes. I've had it before. So,
Oh, she's Asian. Okay.
yes, Laura's Asian. So great. Awesome. Laura, do you make legume too? Yes. She does.
Fantastic. All right. Wonderful. So we will.
She
Yeah,
said
She said make it without meat. Without meat also.
Yes. That is great. Anytime we can go more vegetarian, less meat, that's good for us.
Yes.
Yeah, I know the meat tastes good.
But I like it with the meat.
Excellent.
You can make it without the meat, it still tastes good.
Right. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Diana. And we'll be sure to have that recipe in the cookbook, in the Colorweeks Cookbook. so that they can, maybe your coworkers can start making it for themselves. They can learn how and share it with you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank
For letting me
you.
know this.
We appreciate it.
I think I sent you the email or the recipe. I did
Yes,
send
yes,
you.
you did.
Mhm.
Yes, I'll be sure to share that with everybody.
All right. Thank
All
you so
right. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you, Susie. You said it looked good. Thank you. And it tastes good too.
Absolutely. All right, Charlotte, why can't I find your screen?
I don't know.
I can show your face. Um, I don't see your picture.
Oh, choose the other one. I'm logged in twice. I'm logged in the iPad and the phone.
Oh, there you are. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hey, you are up.
It is my turn. Yay. So I pulled up some little facts about it. So I am, hold on. Great. Never mind. I am African American and I am from the South. And a popular dish that is made, especially New Year's, in our household, you can never enter the New Year's without having this one main dish, and it is black eyed peas. I love black eyed peas, and so does my well, not my family, my husband. My son won't eat it, but my husband does too. My dish is made with meat because it's for my husband, so has to have meat. But to substitute, usually we do it with ham hocks, which is pork. Um, we substitute with smoked turkey. The smoked taste is the best part of it for me. So I take the black beans, but I get the dried black eyed peas from the store and I let it soak for hours. And while that's soaking, I cook the meat because smoked meat takes a really long time to break up and get tender. So I cook that until it's falling apart and really tender. And by then, the peas have become cleaner and ready to cook, so they don't take as long to cook. I don't really use too many things other than onion to help season mine, along with seasoning salt, Aris, and garlic and some pepper. Um, but it's really easy. The longest part of it is getting the meat cooked and soaking, which can be done at the same time. And then once you put it all in the pot, it just cooks together. It takes not even nowhere near an hour. It takes about an hour probably to all come together. And you would season it still if depending on what you like in it, you would add more seasoning to it to make it taste how you would like it to taste. But I made a nice size pot because I used a whole bag of the beans. And here is a closer version.
Lift up a little bit.
Up.
Yeah, there you go. Gotta grow a little bit more.
So yes. Usually eat it with it's a side dish, but usually eat it with maybe collard greens, mac and cheese, or something like that. Usually, but I didn't feel like doing collard greens because that takes a little bit longer and picking and cutting the greens. But black eyed peas is it's actually called cowpea from Africa, and it was something that the slaves ate a lot of because it was the one vegetable that kind of lasted through the different seasons. So it had a better life, sustainable life. So the slaves would eat it for New Year's. So, okay, Miss Alma. So I love it. I know the nutrients are good. And we eat it a few times a year, actually. Usually eat it during Thanksgiving time as well. And then, like I said, New Year's cannot come in without having a pot of black eyed peas. For us in the South that understand that it's just a tradition that's been passed down for many years. And it's a great tradition that I chose to keep going as well. after being brought up that way. I chose to keep it going. My son probably won't keep it going because he doesn't eat it yet. I don't think I ate it when I was his age either, but as I got older and understood vegetables and my palate started to change, I started to love it. So hopefully that will happen with him.
Absolutely.
But I'm
Hope for a
hoping.
man.
I'm hoping. So we did have a couple of people say so. Let's see. So yes, Miss Alma, save her some with some turkey. See you on January 1st, 2021. You are definitely invited over, Miss Horn. I'm hungry now. I love black eyed peas. Ours included ham, black eyed peas, and cabbage. Oh, interesting. Yes, it's supposed to bring good news, luck, and prosperity for the family for the new year. And then Carolyn says, I'll bring some greens. Yes, love collard greens too. So that's about it.
Okay, fantastic. All right, I'm waiting. We have one more presentation. She's a bus driver, and so I'm worried that she's maybe still on her route. I'm waiting for her to see if she can call in, but I do have her recipe, and I have the instructions, and I think you're gonna love it because it sounds really good. It's a vegan recipe. So I'm gonna give her just a couple more minutes. And while we're waiting for her, if anyone wants to put in the chat, if they would have participated in this, what would they have brought to the table? What would they have wanted to showcase from their family, their traditions? If you want to go ahead and type in something, we would be glad to see that.
So Karen, you put the black eyed peas and cabbage together with the ham it's together in one pot? No, separate. Okay, I was wondering. Okay. Cabbage is great too. I love cabbage. I can eat cabbage cooked. I can eat cabbage raw. Cabbage is great too.
Any dishes that anyone wants to share? Just tell us the name of it.
Black bean sauce that is usually served with white rice or ma mulan, coarse cornmeal. That's from Laura.
That sounds really interesting.
It does. Never had that before, black bean sauce with rice.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Spaghetti with red clam sauce for the new year. Thank you, Lori. So that's something that you do for the new year. Ropa vieja, shredded meat, Cuban style with white rice from Vivian. Oh, Alexis, filet mignon with a béarnaise sauce and vegetables.
Wow.
Okay, so you can look up Haitian black bean sauce. Okay. Thank you, Laura. What else? Old-fashioned southern sweet potato souffle with mini marshmallows.
Wow.
Yeah, Miss Horn, we're gonna have to meet up on January 1st.
Okay, so how would you make that recipe healthy? That sounds really good. That sounds very good.
Miss Horn, you're getting a few people that me and Laura said yes. Oh, okay, Alexis, go ahead. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share the last recipe. I'll let you know that we had a couple people who ended up having scheduling conflicts. Let me put myself back on here. Come on. But I don't want to see you, Charlotte. We did have a couple of people who had to back out, but there was going to be, and we'll put it into the cookbook for sure, a Hungarian sauerkraut soup. That sounds pretty interesting. I'm actually part Hungarian, so I would have liked to have seen that. What else were we going to have? Is there anything else that I missed? I think that might have been all that I had. I think there was a Creole dish that we were going to have, but we'll have to get that for the cookbook. But I'm going to go ahead and share the last recipe, and I'm sad that she couldn't be with us. She's a very sweet lady. Her name is Carolyn Tyson. She's one of our drivers from South Transportation Compound, and let me show you. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I can show you what she made. So she follows a vegan diet, and she gets recipes from, I forget who she mentioned, but she follows somebody who she gets vegan recipes from. And this is her dish. So I'm going to do my best to explain this. Hopefully I get it right, but I'll show you kind of the, can you see my screen, Charlotte?
Yes.
Okay, so this is callaloo chicken and cornbread. This is callaloo, which I'm just learning about, and probably Charlotte could tell us a little bit more about, but it's kind of like a spinach or a kale, right? It's a callaloo vegetable. Do you want to go ahead and explain that to us?
Well, I know that when you go to Jamaica and different Caribbean areas, they use callaloo in omelets, very similar to how they would use spinach. I've had it in an omelet. I've had it with shrimp from someone in St. Thomas. So it's a really tasty, to me, it's a tasty green vegetable with a lot of nutrients. Yeah, Taliska has, it has a lot of iron. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So what she does is she cleans the callaloo, she peels off the stem, sautés it with onions. You can see the onions in there. And you season it. So you simmer it and season it and put onion powder and sea salt and thyme in the pot while it's simmering. And that's how she cooked the callaloo here. Of course, she's got the tomatoes. And this is actually a mock fried chicken. It is made with oyster mushrooms, which I thought was so fascinating. So instead of having fried chicken, she used mushrooms. She washed the mushrooms, kept them a little bit wet so the seasoning can stick. She used onion powder, sea salt, and oregano tossed in. And then the coating is quinoa flour to coat the mushrooms. And then you deep fry them in grapeseed oil. And then she sets up the tomatoes. So I thought that was a very interesting twist on fried chicken. Go ahead and put in the chat box if you would try that using mushrooms. I guess you could use any kind of flour, but she used quinoa flour to be vegan.
And Shelly Jordan said yes.
Yeah, which you've got some good nutrients there with the quinoa flour. But I suppose you could use any kind of flour, but that's kind of what she used. She finds that it works really well. This is a dish that she eats almost every week. And then the last item here, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to read my notes, is quinoa bread. So it's kind of like a mock cornbread, which again can have a lot of fat in it. So she uses quinoa, uncooked quinoa, hemp seeds, sparkling spring water, agave syrup, sea salt, and onion powder.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you blend the seeds with water, and then blend the quinoa until it is the consistency of cornmeal, so it's very thin. Mix them all together, and then put a little bit of oil on your pan, and she used and put in the quinoa batter in the baking pan, and then she baked it for 40 to 50 minutes at 350. Doesn't that sound incredible?
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I want to know
Wow.
who would be willing to try this, because I think that would be fantastic. Nice take on a southern dish that you could try without having all the fat, and she's definitely getting a lot of nutrients, of course, with the quinoa, with the callaloo, with the mushrooms, getting her vegetables in. I think I have, yeah, this was the recipe for the quinoa that I just read to you. So there's the instructions, and of course, we will be sharing this on the cookbook. And I'm very sorry she couldn't join us, but I will let her know that we were able to share her recipe. Any comments on that? Any thoughts?
We have some definitely would try, some yes would tries. I'll try too.
Yeah, I guess you don't have to use the mushrooms. You don't have to really have fried chicken. You could just have, regular chicken. You don't have to deep fry it, but I guess she was just trying to look for something, that would be a nice take on a common dish. But I think it looks fantastic.
Yeah, definitely mimics the look of like fried chicken tenders or something.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
We might have to go down to South Transportation and pay her a visit. She
Yes,
eats it every week, so
absolutely. We can try it out.
definitely different. Yeah, that's awesome. I've never